Try really hard to help you with some. I'm turning up my sound here to be sure you can hear this. I'm going to try really hard to kind of give you a leg up on some of this information that some of you all are a little puzzled over. And I think to start us out, I'm going to take you back here to announcements. Now, this whole course is going to be dealing with elements and principles, I promise you. The other thing, so what I'm trying to encourage you to do is to go back to announcements, and of course you go to course home right here to get into announcements, and then click on this elements and principles and click on this particular thing, and I promise you this is as good a cheat sheet as I can possibly give you. I'm trying to find it on my, let's see, here we go. This is it right here. This is something like what should come up. Now, I've got this sized up too big, so let me take it down so I can maybe get it all on the video. Yeah, I think I can on that. All right, and this basically is something I prepared a long time ago, and it just really works. It gives you an idea about elements and principles. I know a lot of you all are struggling because you've never had to do an analysis like this. So this shows you how to use elements and principles, and I think it makes sense, or at least that's what my other students have told me. All right, and you can read down here what it's telling you to do. Like this is talking about a focal point, drama from this particular piece, and you may not like the art, it's okay, but just look at the way these things are together. You're just going to have to take a little time and work this out. You see the arms here and the eyes are making you look at what's going on, and that's what's happening. That's what this painting is about. The beheading. Now this is a biblical story, so you know, and it was a very popular theme used in a particular time. But this is this whole PDF that I've posted here. It's called, it's under that Elements and Principles, and it's called the EP_web PDF, and that's Elements and Principles. And it helps you get some ideas about what, for an example, the elements are. Line, shape, color, value, space, to start with, okay? And it actually takes you through like line, a definition for line, and it takes you through the properties of line. And anyway, so I'm just trying to encourage you to first of all do that little thing. Go to this Elements and Principles tab. The other thing that's going to help you immensely if you're struggling with, oh my gosh, how do I write about all this? Go to this in announcements. Go up here and look at writing and computing help centers. I mean, these people are free, and they're really going to help you too. If you go there and say, look, I'm having a little trouble right here, click on that. Take you right to it. You can set something up. It's a huge help. It's a free service. So, I mean, for heaven's sakes, it's like leaving money on the table, right? Here's another one that'll take you to similar kind of things. This is if you're struggling with computer things, that's a good thing to go to. And how do you organize things? How do you get it all together? So anyway, those are both free help centers, so for heaven's sakes, take advantage of them. Okay, now, I'm going to get back to what the point here was, and the point here was to help you with a discussion. And I pulled this from this week one material. This is a Raphael painting, and it's about so much. I think the name of it is a boy in red with red hat or something like that. Anyway, uh, it will help you to go through this PDF first on elements and principles, then start making, when we are talking about an analysis, talk about this piece. Perfect example, and I think it's used to talk to you about linear and atmospheric perspective. This is a beautiful example of atmospheric perspective. Now, if I were writing about this, if this is a piece I had selected to share, then I have to tell you exactly, I can't just say, oh, the atmospheric perspective is good, like I just did. I'm going to have to say, in the background, you can see that light blue and the haziness that is what atmospheric perspective is all about. How the background gets lighter and bluer, indicating to us that that space is far, far away, and there's lots of atmosphere, basically, between me, the viewer, and what I'm seeing there in the background. That's what atmospheric, and there's a beautiful example in this painting on the left of the subject where you see the hills, and on the right where you see the very faint trees. Now I would have to specifically state that if I were analyzing this piece. Now another thing I would talk about if I were doing this analysis, and if you're thinking, gee, where do I get all this information? read the material, look at that PDF. Um, I would talk about the texture. Look at this beautiful visual texture. You can almost feel the silkiness of the fur here on that young man's collar. You can feel the maybe nubbiness texture of, actual texture. No, it would all feel like paint if I were brave enough to touch a Raphael. I'd get my hands cut off, I'm sure, if I were in a museum. But if I were brave enough to touch it, uh, it would just feel like paint on canvas or a panel, I think. And I think this is a wood panel. But anyway, um, but it looks so real. So the visual texture is there, the visual feel of what that fur would be like, or what that embroidery or weaving would be like, or what his hair would feel like even, or the stitching. That's what I would be talking about. And I would be specific. I wouldn't just say, oh, it has good visual texture. I'd say the visual texture in the fur collar is very apparent, or is very rich, or is very, very real or pronounced, very important in this painting, okay? So that's the kind of thing when I'm asking you to talk about elements and principles that I want you to focus on, all right? I hope that helps you a little bit get started, and I also hope that some of you all will take advantage of that elements and principles download, okay? Good luck.